This is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here, and we are getting ready to review Fastlane. We're going to break it all down for you, all the little details. We're going to discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything that went down tonight on Fastlane. So stay tuned because we are here. All right, we are back. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Welcome to the Value of Wrestling. This is Fastlane for October 7th, 2023. WWE Fastlane is in the books. Another pay-per-view down. And now we're on the road to the next one. But I welcome you and thank you for being here. And let me get to the introduction. You know me, I'm the big time. Oh, yeah. And, of course, as always, joining me, the one, the only.
Got Paulus Clarke, right up in Netflix.
Oh, believe that, ladies and gentlemen. Believe that. And, of course, the third member of this magical panel, our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, the man who knows everything about New Japan Pro Wrestling, the one, the only. Oh, you know. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to break down Fastlane. And we are glad to be here. And it seems like everything is up and working and functioning. Everything's good this time around. So I know we've had some technical boo-boos in the past, but we have worked through those. We have solved those problems, and we are back to do what we're doing. Now, this is the Fastlane review. You're probably wondering, where is the weekly roundup? I know you really want the weekly roundup, and we usually do it live on Saturdays. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you haven't heard the news, well, it's moved to Sunday. It'll be on tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It will be live. We will review everything going down in the world of wrestling this week. We will talk about every TV show, all the events that took place and transpired there. We will talk about big moments like Adam Copeland, the rated R superstar, making his first Dynamite appearance, his first Collision appearance also. Also, we had another debut as Timeless. Toni Storm made her on-air debut this week, not once, but twice. We had the breakdown in SmackDown, and Raw had some great moments. And we will discuss all those tomorrow. We will discuss a lot of news. There is a lot of rumors, news, and other stuff that is going on that we will break down. But that'll be tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We will be right here live. The three of us will be in studio ready to break it all down, what happened this week in professional wrestling. But tonight, we are here for Fastlane. Gentlemen, I thank you for joining me. And this has been Fastlane. What are your opening thoughts, your opening statements, your opening comments regarding Fastlane?
That main event went way too long. It didn't should have been faster, honestly. Felt like there was too much of a long-winded build for the ending.
Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
As far as the main event, we'll get to that when we get there. But overall, you know, some people may not necessarily be happy that, like, this was a B pay-per-view, and you knew it was going to be a B pay-per-view. But I still thought it was a pretty strong B pay-per-view regardless. And we'll cover that as we go through the story beats of each match.
All right. Yeah, it was a pay-per-view for a B show. It was a little disappointing coming off of last month's where we got a really, really good pay-per-view. This month, I think the expectations were set a little higher. Maybe we're anticipating a little bit more. But we got a decent pay-per-view. Yeah, some people probably say we could have done a lot of this on TV. But we got some filler. they did kind of rush to throw this together. They weren't really putting a lot of effort into this pay-per-view, but they put some stuff together. I think they're really getting ready for Crown Jewel, which seems to be the next pay-per-view in early November, and then, of course, Survivor Series, which has been, as far as I understand, confirmed for War Games, will be returning at Survivor Series. What are the teams going to be? I don't know. They made an interesting twist on SmackDown that really changes the dynamic of, well, a lot of what we were seeing going forward. The alliance there, it could be a whole different thing, but you'll have to come back tomorrow for us to talk more about that. But tonight's Fastlane. And with that note and that statement and that comment, let's get into the first match. It was the WWE Tag Team title match. It was the Judgment Day, the team of Damian Priest and Finn Balor, the tag team champions, teaming up to go against the team of Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. And you know this was a decent match. All the competitors got some great moves in. There were some great moments, some high spots, some low points. It was a good 20-minute match. It was what it was. And in the end, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are now your new WWE Tag Team Champions. An interesting twist in the plot line. This could shake up what's going forward for the Judgment Day. It definitely adds another story element now that Cody and Jey Uso can be on, quote-unquote, both brands legitimately. We know that everybody's kind of cross brands here and there fairly often, so it doesn't seem to change a whole lot. But, gentlemen, what are your thoughts on the tag team title match tonight?
I'm looking at it like, obviously this is giving Cody something to do while he's finishing the story, quote unquote. But it also places Jey Uso in that main event spot without actually being the world heavyweight champion. He is a champion, and that's going to keep his reputation as main event Jey Uso, at least on the TV shows. It's going to keep that momentum going, in my opinion.
Now he has more tag title championships than his brother.
Yep.
Mr. Z-Man, your thoughts on the tag team title match tonight?
I didn't see the title change coming. I mean,
no.
What more can you say? That was not what I thought was going to happen. But as you know, Paul said, this is definitely building for Cody to finish his story. But it's to buy time to finishing that final run, and giving something to main event Jey to move forward as far as his story, wherever that's going to lead to.
It's definitely going to be very interesting where they take this storyline now that they made Cody and Jey Uso the tag team champions. How is this going to play out? How will this affect Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn? How are they going to feel about that? What elements will that play into all of that's going on there, especially since it does seem like Cody, Jey Uso, Sami, Kevin Owens are top contenders to be going in as the quote-unquote baby faces into a elimination chamber. Now, speculation is a lot that it might be a 10-man elimination chamber match, so a 5-on-5, so we may be adding an extra man into an already very crowded ring, but it could be very interesting and adds an extra element, does something different. But there's a lot of people in that mix. If you look at where we had the tie-in with Judgment Day, you have a big number there, and you have the foreman there, and with a lot of speculation of somebody else coming to Chicago for a Survivor Series appearance, who knows if they'll get thrown in there as a mystery fifth partner. So that may be why they're speculating that, to add in an extra dose of something. So who knows? But it's definitely going to be a wait and see. It was a good match. I would not have put anything down that Cody and Jey Uso would have been walking out of there with the tag titles. I would have bet on chicanery to keep them from winning, or a disqualification, and they would have won the match, but not the titles type of thing. So it's interesting what they've done here and how that plays out, knowing that the story is going to be Cody at WrestleMania. I know there's so much talk about The Rock showing up. I don't think The Rock would want to take away from Cody, and I don't think the Triple H regime that is definitely running this. I know a lot of people probably say this felt like a Vince McMahon ran show, but I think it was a decent show for what they had. Hey, I'm not saying it. You can give me all the faces you want. I'm just saying, there are people out here who are going to point the finger out and go, it's Vince McMahon. It was, Vince was running this show because it wasn't a Triple H show, because it wasn't, blown out of the water.
Triple H's fingerprints are all over this show. I don't know what they're talking about. It looked like a variation of TakeOver to me.
Yes,
Who
felt very.
Who brought the old man up in a conversation?
It felt
That
very.
was
There
nowhere
will be
near.
people. I'm just saying there will be people out there. I know a couple of channels that are going to go out there and say, "Oh, Vince was running this show. You could feel Vince's fingers all over this show." I ain't going to blast names, but they know. I
Where?
agree with you, but I'm
Where?
just because it wasn't one of the better pay-per-views because you had title change.
Wanted.
Yeah, the title changes didn't make sense to some people. Of course, it was a very babyface win tonight. Everybody that pretty much won was your babyfaces tonight, other than Io Sky, who I would actually consider more of a babyface and over now than a heel, even though she's a part of Damage Control. But I don't know. I guess
He's the Rob Van Dam of Damage Control. The way Rob Van Dam was the face, despite the fact the rest of the Invasion, the Alliance, were heels.
I guess the best thing is it's probably not a Vince McMahon show because we didn't see show. So, but we are going to see Raw, and we're going to see her on Raw. So that's the only damnation we have coming. But anyways, cancel it all. I don't care. I mean, I'm not doing anything wrong. Anyways, I know there's going to be naysayers. There's going to be people who are going to diss this show. It was a decent show. It was a B show. It was your B pay-per-view to get through. Could they have done this on TV? Probably on some of the ends. But, hey, they needed to give us a pay-per-view. They gave us 5 matches. They gave us decent long wrestling matches in some of this aspect. And they did what they needed to do without overblowing it or making too much out of it. Other than maybe a little bit, I would have to say, I think, and Miguel said this too in the end, it was a bit long, but we'll get to that. Anyways, the next match on the card was the 6-man tag match, which featured Bobby Lashley tagging up with the Street Profits with their new faction, whatever that's going to be, against Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar, the LWO, and they came out, they started the match, did most of this match without their mystery partner. Rey Mysterio had said earlier tonight he put in a phone call, but the phone call was never returned. But he kept telling Santos, yes, he's going to show up. Yes, he's going to show up. Now, if you checked out the Value Wrestling YouTube channel earlier, you can saw I broke down a whole review on who could possibly be this third mystery partner. And I gave you a lot of names of great possibilities. And, of course, probably towards the end of this match, I mean, the only thing that was kind of a letdown, he didn't come out until, like, the last five minutes maybe. And so we got Carlito. After a pretty dominant Street Profit Bobby Lashley match where they were pretty much keeping Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar in check, Carlito's music came on. He came running down to the ring, and he joined in, and he helped knock off, I believe it was Montez Ford. He hit him with a backstabber for the 1-2-3. And your winners were the LWO of Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio Jr., and Carlito. And it was a good match. I think it was a little, I don't know if Carlito's not in the place he wants to be. I don't know why they held Carlito out so long. I think it didn't help in the end, bringing Carlito in that quickly to get the pick up the scraps. It kind of took away from everything they did with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley looking really strong. It was a nice pop for Carlito, but it was just, I don't know. It was kind of like, why couldn't he just been there from the beginning? Why do we need to wait and keep the anticipation going? Other than the fact that maybe there were people watching another show and somebody else was going head-to-head on that show, and they wanted to make sure you didn't switch to that show. Anyways, no. On Collision, at the same time the Rey Mysterio match was going on, Edge was on there doing his spiel. So I don't know if there was somebody watching. Adam Copeland. My bad. I've been trying to keep that
right. The Rated R Superstar.
The Rated R Superstar Adam Copeland. As you know. But Adam Copeland was on there addressing Christian, and they had a back and forth. And so it seemed like through that whole match, Rey Mysterio's match was going on. So I wonder if they kept that just to keep you from switching because everybody's like, well, who's the mystery partner going to be? So, of course, in this day and age, everybody's got multiple screens, so I wouldn't be surprised on how many people are watching both things at the same time. But with that being said, I think Carlito coming out was a little weak. I think he could have came out in the beginning. Even if he didn't get in the ring, you could have saved him till the end for a very hot tag, and it would have felt a little better. It just felt like he came in at the last moment and it ended the momentum, and it just, I think it could have been booked better. But let me turn it over to my panel here. Gentlemen, your thoughts on the 6-man tag, LWO versus Bobby Lashley and the Street profits.
You want me to go
I think
first,
the
brother?
whole point, at least on paper, I think the anticipation of Carlito coming out was supposed to build interest. Obviously, in execution, it didn't work out. But on paper, I think it still sounds good. I would have wanted to see him in the ring a little bit longer than the 5 minutes we did get to see him, to make it feel more special. The other minor detail, I wish he would have wore his LWO shirt, knowing that he got the call, knowing that back at Backlash he was wearing an LWO shirt. Like, I didn't understand why he didn't have the Puerto Rican version. But with that said, all we can do now is look at what do they do with them going forward. Because as we believe that Carlito's signed, and he's been signed for a while, so now that he's finally made a reappearance, what do they do with him and the LWO going forward?
It'd be interesting to see how they play that out. Carlito, it was great. I wish he would have been there a little more to give a little more of a taste. But we'll have to see what they do with him going forward. Mr. Z-Man, your thoughts on this match?
Raw, it was a good match. The build-up, like you said, fell flat. I was a little disappointed it done. Maybe brought him on honor. Would have been a good thing. Maybe have him work a little more. He's in great shape. He looks like he could go. But, overall, it just, to me, it fell flat.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion.
It was a decent match.
And you were entitled to that one.
It was kind of let down that it took so long for him to get out there. And I know there was a lot of names thrown out there. Carlito was thrown out there. Savio Vega was out there. I heard people saying Juventud Guerrero. I know people are calling for the Jews. There was somebody saying Psychosis, which I don't know where he is these days. People were calling for Eddie Guerrero, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, Bad Bunny would have been a nice throw in there. That would have been a great throw. That would have probably gotten a really good pop. I know I threw a bunch of odd names out there, so I didn't know where they were going to dig in to get this one, but we got Carlito. It was probably a little less lackluster. Could have been a little better, but we got an overall victory for the LWO, and we'll have to see what goes on from here. Next up was the triple threat match for the women's, the WWE. I think it's the WWE Championship, right? The women's WWE Championship is the one that Io Sky has, and Rhea Ripley has the women's world champion. I hate when they go back and forth between those because then you got to okay, is that the WWE or the women's, the world, or just the WWE? Anyways, Io Sky, the WWE women's champion, was facing Charlotte Flair and Asuka in a triple threat match. A lot of speculation because earlier in the day we saw Jade Cargill show up to this event, showed up to Fastlane in her limo, got out, was greeted by Triple H in the backstage area. Wasn't just sitting in the crowd for a pop, but she met Triple H in the back. So a lot of speculation that this might have been the moment that she was going to debut, that she was going to come out and be a part of this match in some way or another. Not necessarily in the match, but she would, present herself, or she'd come out afterwards and make her stance. But we got none of that, surprisingly. We got the old school Triple H, just, hey, she's here. We're selling it. They've been talking about it on the show, and now they finally showed us her on TV being there. And so we'll have to see when we get to see her. Will she show up on Raw? Will she show up on NXT, or will she show up on SmackDown? I don't know. I think right now you probably want to have her show up on Tuesday at NXT on 10/10. Doesn't mean she needs to be a part of NXT, but you could definitely get a moment there with an already overly stacked deck for Tuesday night. But we got a triple threat match. It was a decent match, a really good match. These three women brought it. It was all over the place. There was highs and lows. It looked like Asuka was going to win for a minute. It looked like Charlotte Flair was going to have it, definitely, when she had that figure 8 on Asuka. And Bayley came down for the interference that gave Io Sky the ability to splash off the top rope onto a Charlotte Flair doing a figure 8. And, of course, Io Sky picks up the 1, 2, 3, retains her championship again. And thank goodness, because I think Io Sky is definitely the right one. Also, a lot of rumors and speculation that Kairi Sane might have made her reappearance at this time. Still waiting to see that. It seems like Kairi Sane may be on her way back into the WWE. A lot of talk that since the movement and the change in direction with Asuka and Io Sky has given Kairi Sane a more positive view of WWE and willingness to come back. So Could have been Kairi Sane, but overall it was a good women's match. All three of these women are very, very talented. They all know how to bring it. There was a couple moments there that were kind of Io Sky kind of missed a sunset on Asuka. Charlotte Flair went up to make one. But overall, these were three great women putting on a great triple threat match. I think they brought it tonight, probably one of the better matches of the night. And we still have Io Sky as a women's champion. So, gentlemen, let's go to the Z-Man first. Z-Man, your thoughts on the triple threat women's title match?
All of them blow away competitors. It was very solid. You guys, I forgot to make note that I told Damage Control to stay in the back. She didn't control.
You're gonna have to rewind that one. Your
right.
mic was canceling you out.
Oh yeah, I know, right? No, you forgot to mention that told them back. You didn't want them out there.
All right, we'll let you figure out your mic situation. We're going to pass it off to Mr. Clarke for a moment. Mr. Clarke,
I think what Miguel was trying to say was that Io had asked Damage Control to stay behind.
Yeah.
Now,
can you hear me now?
As far as my thoughts go, Asuka doesn't need the title at this point. She is so over, even without the title. I am not ready to see Charlotte with the title again because she's had so many bloody times. They keep reminding us she's been 14-time champion. We don't need to see her right now as champion. I want to see her in a storyline without the title even being on the line. I want to see her in the storyline where we get to see a story that had nothing to do with the title. So I'm very glad, very happy that Io Sky has retained, and they really need to build her run as it is anyways.
Definitely true.
A memorable run, just like any other champion.
Definitely true. It's going to be interesting. I think we're going to get we're going to get to the. I think we're probably going to get Bayley versus Io Sky for that title around WrestleMania. I think
At
that's
some point,
the big.
For sure.
I think that's the push we're headed for. But let's give the Z-Man a second chance here. It sounds like you're back online, and we'll let you fill in.
All right,
your
am I back?
there.
Now? You hear me now? Hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you for now.
Like I said,
you were cutting up miserably there, so
for now. So sir. Like I said, great match. All women are great competitors. Like I said, she told the girls stay in the back. She can handle it herself. And in the end, Bayley doesn't listen, comes out and helps her out. So I'm wondering if this will build to her and Bayley, or just, maybe even use Dakota. But we'll see.
No, I think you're ultimately building. Bayley's eventually going to want that title. I think the reaction that Io's getting is more fan favorite, is more babyface. And I think you're building to a WrestleMania match, Io Sky versus Bayley. Bayley possibly might win the women's Royal Rumble. That would be really my step in that direction, that she'd win the women's Royal Rumble, and then that would start pushing that direction for her and Io Sky to meet at WrestleMania for that title. We may be seeing Rhea Ripley holding on to that title until she gets to Mania 2, maybe against an imposing Jade Cargill, if they build her right. I don't know where they're going to put her or how long they want to let her saute before they push her up the card, but it could be a very interesting thing. All righty, gentlemen. On that note, we can get into the next tag team match, since we had a plethora of tag team matches on a small card. We had John Cena with LA Knight teaming up to take on Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. And speaking, I hope somebody's watching, because I heard you have issues with this man, so this one is for you.
Everybody saying L.A. Knight.
Yep. So John Cena teamed up with.
That she's again.
John Cena teamed up with LA Knight to take on Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa. It was a great back and forth. It was what you expect in this type of match. It went back and forth. I thought it kind of funny when Jimmy tried to pull Cena down by the hair, but it didn't. It was like in that back spot that we don't talk about, but it looked like he grabbed, and I'm like, there was nothing there to grab. Like, Cena just kind of went with it, like, yeah, I know what you're doing. Leave my hair alone. Anyways, hey, I'm bald. I can make bald jokes. Get over it, okay? It's all good.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you didn't know?
Like
exactly.
Like our buddy Paul over there.
Hey, I used to be bald, so.
Anyways, John Cena and LA Knight came out victorious in this match. I think that's what you expect. It's going to continue to build the LA Knight character, rubbing up with John Cena, and for all those people who are hoping or wishing or talking about this or running it all the way up and down the pipeline, every Facebook post, every news outlet, comment. I didn't see it in any particular news article, but people commenting every Discord and Reddit page. Everybody wanted John Cena to turn heel on LA Knight. Everybody was begging and thinking that John Cena was going to finally turn heel. I know some people are like, what's the point at this time in his career? He's a part-timer. He's here for a little bit because he had an opening in time. It doesn't make sense. It's not necessary. I get you could turn him on LA Knight, let him and LA Knight have a little bit of feud. LA Knight gets the rub of beating John Cena, but it wasn't necessary. And no, sorry for all you folks who are hoping for a heel turn. The only heel turn I can give you is if I stood up and turned on my heel myself, but I'm not going to do that, so sucks to be you. Or
Dummy.
Sorry about your damn luck. Anyways, LA Knight, John Cena go over. They have their little momentary celebration. Cena tries to praise LA Knight. LA Knight says no and gives all the praise to John Cena. Good match for what you expect. It did what it did. We're going to continue the storyline. Is it going to be John Cena versus Roman Reigns at the Saudi show? Is it going to be LA Knight versus Roman Reigns at the Saudi show? That's the next interesting plot line we got to fill in. The Saudi show is at the beginning of November. I didn't catch a date. I know they previewed it a couple of times with Riyadh. So we're going to have to wait and see how that one plays out. But tonight, LA Knight and John Cena get a win. And while Miguel's camera is all messed up, we're going to shoot it over to Mr. Paulus Clarke to hear his thoughts on this match.
I think we pretty much knew what the outcome was going to be. I mean, you have LA Knight, you have John Cena. Superheroes, practically. Especially with Super Cena. But Solo did good work. Jimmy did good work. It was pretty much what you expected.
All right. Now to the Z-Man, who seems to be back in camera frame. His camera looks like it's solid. What are your thoughts on this match, Mr. Z-Man?
I mean, what you want to say? They did exactly what we wanted. The result was exactly what everybody wanted, which is for Cena and Knight to win. Yes, this rub from Cena will definitely push LA Knight to a bigger stratosphere. We'll just have to see where it goes.
Ay caramba. But yeah, no, exactly.
I do want to make one other note. We keep talking about. Sorry. We keep talking about getting the rub from Cena. That doesn't necessarily mean anything if you beat him. What's that done for Austin Theory? I think it helped Theory. I just think they're trying to hold back. I think one person was trying to put a rocket to the back of Austin Theory and shoot him to the moon real quickly. I think another group of creative people are trying to pull that back a little bit and let the juices of this marinate a little bit longer. He's definitely had big moments, though. I mean, he's had the moment with Cena. He's had this moment with Rock. He's had his moment with Austin now. So he is a big event player. He's gotten that light rub from Cena, but I think they didn't know exactly what to do with him or where to go with him. And, they have to be real careful. I think, Theory is going to be a future face of this company. I think he's going to be a name that's going to be the future of WWE in one form or another. But, beating Cena doesn't necessarily give you a rub that's going to shoot you to the moon. But, right now they're trying to give that rub to LA Knight to help him get there. And, it seems to be, I guess maybe Austin Theory is thinking this. I'll tell you what's helping Austin Theory right now is his team with Grayson Waller.
Yes.
Having those two together and partnering together between his charisma and both of their athleticism, that, in my opinion, is what's helping Austin Theory.
The smart move there would probably to keep Austin Theory and Grayson Waller together as a tag team and probably give them the tag team titles. They probably need to be the ones that beat Cody and Jey Uso to put them in a position to have a match at WrestleMania that would be really, really good. I don't know what you're doing. You're blurry now.
No, Dan, you keep it away.
So.
No, it's not a curse. It's a compliment.
Oh, you're trying to be Danhausen. Very nice, very evil. Yes. No. Okay. Anywho. NXT commercials. Was there an NXT commercial? I think there was an NXT commercial tonight. Gotta watch NXT on 1010, right? NXT on 1010.
It's going to
What
be
does that
stacked and loaded.
Oh, it is stacked and loaded. Cocked, rocked, and ready to unload, you know? Even Rusev had something to say. Or
I don't care.
Miro.
You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
And Paul
Not
died.
We lost him.
On that note, how about this for you? Alrighty. We here at the Value Wrestling love what we do. We enjoy it, and we're glad that you are here watching us, enjoying what we're doing each and every week. Make sure you drop comments below because your comments are important to us. We read every single comment. And then,
I got a question. Real quick,
did it hurt?
Just one question.
Okay, did it hurt?
No, it didn't hurt.
Okay, good.
I'm kind of shocked that they let Jade keep her name. I thought they were changing it.
Do what? You broke up.
Jade Cargill. You got it?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you. I guess it's her legit name, so they're
Cargill.
letting her keep it, and it's a hot name right now. So I mean, why not let her keep it? Anyways,
Have to go back and
there's a
watch that media
high
scrum
note
because
going on
Cody
right
was
now.
talking about-
There's a high note going on right now that I think we need to mention, and hopefully I don't jinx it. But Miguel, I want to congratulate you tonight. You have yet to be fired. I think that is an accomplishment in itself.
What's that? What do?
You didn't hear it?
Did you not pay attention to
No,
what I
you
just
cut
said?
out.
Oh.
You cut out.
I said we reached a. He heard me, so maybe it's on your end. But anyways, you've reached a milestone this week. You have done something very impressive, and we are both very proud of you. You have yet to be fired tonight.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
I'm gonna drink a big glass of the milk.
go have your big glass of milk, ladies and gentlemen. We
The
are
one time when I
here.
get off here.
And Biff has joined us, and Biff says the new tag team champions are very interesting, and you're exactly right, Biff. It is interesting to see the new tag
What's
team
up, Biff?
champions. Do what?
That's a good dude right there. What is that, Biff?
So,
Hold on.
yes,
Is that
no.
That water?
Water. What?
No,
Let's
I
go
hear
into the
water
main
coming
event.
from behind me. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, back to the show. Be careful, my sir. Be careful, my sir. I just gave you, praise and everything, and now you're walking that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we forgot to talk about LA Knight, the new Macho Slim Jim man. Oh yeah, came speeding in a Slim Jim car. So yeah, I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, whatever. Anyways, I guess we should get into the main event that ran just, it went on and on and on and on and on. It did go a long time. They had a lot of time to fill when they got to that main event. We had the WWE World Heavyweight Championship on the line as Seth Rollins defended his title against the most impressive Shinsuke Nakamura. And if Michael Cole can quit calling him Shin, I think that's just stupid. Oh, Shin. No, it's like Shinsuke or Nakamura. Get it one way or the other. Not Shin. Shin. My shin is here. That's not a shin. This is a shin. Anyways. A decent match for what it was. I think they overexploited it. Nakamura, they kept trying to make Nakamura look strong, but in the end, it just kind of felt goofy because it went on forever. There were spots there that I don't know how Seth Rollins got up. What was it? He got bounced and he got knocked off the announce table, thrown back in the ring, got thrown through another table, was sandwiched between the table, and still managed to get up by 9. It was just like, okay, this is a little ridiculous. Like, I know it's like the borderline of keeping Nakamura looking strong, letting Seth Rollins win. Eventually, in the end, they go out in the crowds into another setup spot, and Rollins drives Nakamura down. Nakamura gets up at 8 briefly and collapses right back down, so it wasn't a complete up, and we got a 10 count. Seth Rollins retains his title at the end of the night. Seth Rollins is still your WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and there was no cash-in. I know a lot of people were saying cash-in. There was people everywhere going, oh, there's going to be a cash-in night. There's going to be a cash-in night. Everybody was speculating. I don't know where that speculation honestly came from. I didn't see anything relatively, except slightly at the show when they were in the back scenes and Judgment Day had lost the tag team titles and Priest was like, I'm going to go cash in. Seth was, sorry. Our boy said Seth is way better than Roman, a better champion than Roman, so that's why I got Seth on the break. But in the backstage area, we had Priest saying he was going to go cash in, and Finn Balor was trying to talk him out, and then eventually the leader of Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, said no, and then took the briefcase away from Damian Priest. So I didn't know how that was going to play out. I'm like, is Rhea going to go use it to cash in? Is Dom going to pick it up and cash it in like an idiot? Is Finn Balor going to go cash it in? So there was a little change in that dynamic about how she kind of took the money in the briefcase away from him. But nothing came of it. And, of course, we also debated how do you if he would have cashed in the middle of that match, would it become a three-way last man standing match? So you have to knock both your opponents down. Would that have changed the match to a pinfall match? If he would have cashed in after the match, it's over. It would have been a different story. But we didn't get a cash in. We got Seth Rollins winning. That was the end of your show. I think it went on a little excessive. Just because it was an Extreme Rules match. They were beating everybody with everything. Nakamura got to show off his nunchuck skills, which was pretty impressive. And did not look like that would be fun to get knocked around by Nakamura and some nunchucks. So, gentlemen, we will point it over to Mr. Miguel, the Z-Man. What are your thoughts, feelings, or overall thoughts on this match? To Miguel. Z.
Yeah. It went up. Can you hear me?
Nope. Okay, so I guess we're not going to go to Miguel C again. It's okay. You get yourself all situated there. We'll throw it over to Paulus Clarke. I don't feel bad. Life is life, and we will deal with it, but we got to keep the show rolling. So, Paulus, Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this match tonight?
Happen if Michael Cole decided to call Shinsuke Nakamura Shin one more time, and she just kind of gave him with a shining wizard. Just for his troubles.
Well, I don't know if Michael Cole wants to call Nakamura Shin one more time because he might have to meet the Messiah. He might have to meet a savior. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
We can hear you now. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't. It dragged out.
Yeah.
And everything but the kitchen sink. They had it was the false finishes that kind of killed me on this.
Yeah.
If they would have just finished it with them going through the table, I would have been fine. But I don't book it, so we'll leave it at that.
I want to know why we're getting Super Rollins. We've complained about Super Cena in the past. We've complained about just a bunch of people in the past having these superpowers of staying alive and keeping their championship. Why are we getting?
Hey, real quick, I didn't see the 5 moves of doom tonight. Did you?
Who's 5 moves of doom these days? There's a
Super
plethora.
Cena.
Okay, Cena's 5 moves of doom.
Super Cena.
No, I don't think we got the 5 moves of doom this time. But Seth Rollins has kind of got his own 5 moves of doom too nowadays. So I mean, anybody who moves into that super level gets their own moves of doom. It seems like.
Where did he get the outfit, Rollins?
He was in his wife's closet, and you know this.
I don't even know if that's his wife's closet anymore. That might be like Cher's or I don't know. Maybe
my wife called me in there and she goes, "I'm gonna look at what he's wearing."
I don't know if it's Cher's closet or I can't think of the other person that would come to mind. There's a name that is totally.
What about Lady Gaga's closet?
Yeah, Lady Gaga or RuPaul. RuPaul would be a name. Maybe that's the closet. What was that one singer that the one name Asian singer? What was her name that wore really weird outfits too? Bjork. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There was times she wore some weird costumes and outfits too. So, I don't know. I don't know where Seth Rollins is getting it. Did anybody see green shirt guy in the front row? I don't know what the deal with green shirt guy is. I guess I don't pay attention. enough to know who Green Shirt Guy is. Does anybody know who Green Shirt Guy
We
is?
usually see collar and elbow guy, but we didn't see him there this time.
I guess Green Shirt Guy was there. I heard a lot of people talking about that. And of course, our boy Biff here is telling us about Green Shirt Guy. I don't know the big deal about Green Shirt Guy. I did see the soldier in the front row who kind of irritated me because, well, as a veteran, we were always told you're never allowed to wear your uniform outside a post. If you're going to some event, you're supposed to change your clothes. If you're going out to eat, even if you're going to the grocery store, the only place you can really stop and get something is like the convenience store or the gas station. If you're going to quickly run in and you got like 5 minutes, otherwise you're supposed to go home and change. So it's always weird when I see soldiers in full workout uniforms like that, your ACUs or whatever they're called nowadays. It always kind of irritates me because I'm like, hey, that's out of regulations technically. That's a article 8.5 in, but I don't know enough about Green Shirt Guy. I hear a lot of people talking about Green Shirt Guy, but I don't know who Green Shirt Guy is or what connection the Green Shirt Guy has to everything nowadays.
This is my first time hearing about it, so.
Oh, I've heard about it. I don't know, and I don't necessarily pay attention. Now, a military guy being a veteran, it's more noticeable. It's just kind of like you're going, oh, hey, I'll see you. Anyways, so we had a decent overall show. It was pretty well. What it was, 5 matches on the card.
It went by fast.
Well, it was only 5 matches. I mean, you got 3 hours. That's a reasonable pay-per-view, I would say, for a B pay-per-view, for a lower-rated pay-per-view card that you're just trying to fill in. You got 5 good matches. The matches all each had their time length. I think the women's title match was probably the best match of the night. Everything else kind of filled in for what it was. I don't think we had a whole lot of expectations for a lot of these. Yes, we got a shock with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso winning the tag team titles. So we got a surprise there. But it'll be interesting to see how it plays out going forward. We have to see what happens on Raw. We know NXT is stacked to the brim. So we'll probably be talking about NXT next week. Not this week, but next week, because it's going to be must-see TV going head-to-head with Dynamite. And, of course, unless you're somebody else that's a part of the show, if you're going to hear The Undertaker is going to be on a show, you're probably going to be watching. Now, if you're somebody else, you might call him something else, and I'm not going to repeat that, but if you want to find out what one of our other co-hosts, one of our other anchors have to feel about The Undertaker being on NXT, definitely check out the Value Wrestling page. There's a video up there from the Messiah of Wisdom, as he calls himself. Marty Richards
shall not be named is how we refer to him.
I don't think you need to name him. I think you keep tempting that box. You keep peeking into Pandora's box and going, "Hi, are you in there?" I mean,
I had VOW asking about who he was. I said, "Well,
that's good. Good. Maybe we'll have to get him at an AEW event. Maybe he'll appear out in in society somewhere. Maybe he'll give us a toy review, or who knows? It could be really interesting. Anything's possible.
But here's the thing, though. See, if I talk about him, I'm going to talk about him as a colleague. I'm going to say, you do tend to poke the bear a little bit, Miguel, and that's why he calls you out when he does.
Yes, you do tempt fate there. You do dance with the devil in the pale moonlight. You do go, hey, look at this box, and it says don't open. I mean, and I think he said it once, and I'll say it. I know Mr. Clarke fairly well, and I know he's one of those people that if you put him in a room and said don't push the button, he'd drop kick that button all the heck, just because that is his normal personality. But good God, you take that to a whole nother level. Like you drop kick the button, pick it up, push it again, and push it again, and push it again, and push it again, and push it again, just to see how bad you can make it. Like you just want to be like, it's like you go to the zoo, in front of the tiger cages and like pull out a steak and start cooking it and chopping it up and go, you want to bite? You want to bite, kitty, kitty? Come here, kitty, kitty. You want to bite?
Even our colleague Jane AI bot has said her piece and has left it alone. She doesn't even bring up his name.
Yeah. I think she danced a little too close to the sun on that one, and then he had a little rebuttal, and she hasn't said much since then, has she? No. We wish Jane well. Jane is definitely the instigator of some things around here. She's a great part of the team. We respect her opinion for what it is, but she definitely likes to kind of keep things interesting around here. Of course, Miguel has the record for the most firings around here, but we appreciate him for being here each and every week, and I think we'll keep him around. But we'll see. He hasn't been fired tonight, so I mean that's a tall task and a big duty. We'll see what happens
Kudos.
tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon, I should say. Tomorrow afternoon, yes, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't know, the weekly roundup, which is usually or was once on Saturday evenings after Collision, and now that is not going to happen anymore. It has moved to Sundays at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So every afternoon at 12 p.m. on your Sundays, we will be here so you can watch your football games on one screen and then listen to us talk about everything that went down in the week of wrestling. You can watch your football on 10 screens and still listen to us as we break down everything that's happened in the world of professional wrestling. And it still saves us, so when we have a pay-per-view event on Sundays, that means we will be on at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with the weekly roundup. And then after the pay-per-view on a Sunday, when we get those, we will be back to follow up with that pay-per-view to break it all down for you, just like we broke down Fastlane tonight. And so it's definitely interesting. Gentlemen, final thoughts on the show tonight. Overall, good show, but Mr. Clarke, we will give you the floor for your final closing arguments on Fastlane.
Overall, I thought it was a good show. With the way that they booked this match, I so want to see Shin win the World Heavyweight title. I want to see him as a main event player that he was brought in to be from New Japan. Now, I don't expect him to be the same Shin that he was when he was in New Japan, but to be built in the WWE as a main event player, they certainly can if they chose to, and they just haven't.
Yes.
So I'm kind of disappointed in that. They continue the story of Seth Rollins having a bad back. At some point, it's got to break.
Well,
hopefully not literally. Hopefully it's only storyline. But
yes. But we're also at that point. What do you do with? Go ahead.
Overall, I'm satisfied with the card, and still interested in seeing what happens going forward.
It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do with Shinsuke now. I don't think they can go back, run it back again. I think we are done with that story, but I don't know where Shinsuke Nakamura goes from here. He needs a really strong feud against somebody. I don't know who that somebody is off the top of my head, but he needs to be kept being built the way he is, in the style he is as a top face heel. I think he's in the right place. They just got to continue it. Now we'll get on to the Z-Man, Mr. New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, the man behind everything New Japan Pro Wrestling. And when I say that, let me tell you about this. So you can go over to Spotify and you can find Mr. Z-Man right here, right over there on Spotify with the New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound each and every week. I will let him give you more details on that. But Z-Man, tell us about your New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast on Spotify, and then tell us your final thoughts and closing arguments on Fastlane.
As you heard, you can find me on Spotify at the New Japan Rebound Podcast. We will talk about everything New Japan. Right now, they have 2 events coming up later tonight. I will be going live early in the morning to give those results, and that's all for Destruction. That's the Road to Destruction that's coming up. And as far as the event tonight, overall good show. Like you said, it was just kind of more of a B show, and just time filler for what it is. But I don't know what they're gonna do with Shinsuke. It breaks my heart. They booked him to where he was going to be really strong, and I was hoping he was going to finally win the title tonight. And then you killed it. So I don't know what they're going to do next.
All right.
Well, those are the thoughts of the night. Again, I say it was basically a great show, or I won't say great. It was good. It was what you. I mean, it was for what it was. There were some highs, there were some lows. I think the women's championship match takes it for the night. I think we got a good surprise in the tag team title change. What they do from here with it's definitely going to be the most interesting aspect of it. And we're going to have to see how that all plays out. Again, we're going to be here back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the weekly roundup right here on the Value Wrestling YouTube channel. So what you need to do is make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because every one of you that subscribes becomes part of this family. You get to become part of the Value Wrestling family, and being part of the Value Wrestling family puts you on the ground floor of the future of what is going to be the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting going forward. We are going to get in here and plant our flag in the IWC, and we are going to be a force to be reckoned with, and we need your support and help, and you can simply do that by subscribing and becoming part of the Value Wrestling family. Then make sure you ring that bell for notifications, because you want to be notified every time we go live or when we put up new content. Because today, man, did content come flying off the shelf today. We had reviews for MLW. We had reviews for Ring of Honor. We had reviews for Impact. We had 2 news videos. We talked about Rey Mysterio and who he called. We also had a video talking more in depth about what is the future for CM Punk. Is CM Punk headed to the WWE? Is the one and only CM Punk on his way back? Is the voice of the voiceless going to make a second coming in the second city in November at Survivor Series? Is this where we're going to see CM Punk? Could he possibly be in the Survivor Series War Games? Or will he be waiting for Royal Rumble surprise? We don't know, but a lot of talk and rumors and speculation that are moving closer and closer to CM Punk being a part of WWE's future. We also talked about Mercedes Moné. It seems like the boss is about to be all elite, and she seems to have been cleared. And now we are just waiting for the final things. A lot of rumors that she may show up at Full Gear. Will she show up sooner? Could she be headed to AEW for 1010 for Title Tuesday? Might be a great day to pop up on a show like that. Even if it's not a full-time gig just yet, it might move some needles. There's going to be a lot going on. And, of course, if you haven't heard, Tuesday night this week is going to be a hot night TV as AEW Dynamite will be doing a Title Tuesday show as they're preempted for Wednesday night for the Major League Baseball playoffs. So we're going to see Dynamite going head-to-head with NXT, and NXT, of course, is stacked at deck. They have named John Cena, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Dominic Mysterio, Cody Rhodes with a huge announcement, and in the biggest hint, they keep playing this sound in their commercials. And the rumor speculation that The Undertaker's already going to be in Orlando on 1010. So will The Undertaker make his first appearance in NXT? And if you want to know more about how people feel about that, Marty Richards dropped a whole video right here on the Value Wrestling YouTube channel on that subject. Check that one out. It's a listen. You may agree, you may disagree, but it never hurts to listen and opening your mind to different opinions, because here at the Value Wrestling, we accept all your opinions. You can cheer who you want, you can boo who you want, you can like who you want, you can dislike who you want. That's perfectly fine. You can have your opinion, you can be a mark. You can mark out for anybody you want to. Just don't go 100% mark. That's what I will tell you. But at the end of the day,
hey, real quick.
Hold up. We're going to rewind. The Z-Man has something to say.
Real quick, I want to acknowledge Biffy real quick. He said that Seth is way better champion than Roman. Seth Rollins right now is the Wicked Man champion. That is what that belt is. And I'll just leave it at that. But we will see when Roman comes back.
Well, Roman's coming back, as it's been announced. He's going to be back on SmackDown this next Friday night. Roman Reigns making his return to SmackDown. It's going to be very interesting how that all plays out. How is Jimmy Uso going to play, and how is it going to play out with their loss tonight on Fastlane coming up on Wednesday? It's very interesting. And, of course, we've got the union, the partnership, the agreement, the alliance between Judgment Day and the Bloodline, which really opens a whole new direction of many things. For many things, could we get a multi-man? Could we get a triple threat War Games? Could we have, Judgment Day versus Bloodline versus Cody and team? I mean, it's a different thing. That's a lot of people to try and squeeze into that ring. I don't know how well that would work in booking that and trying to make that happen. I mean, it's plausible. We will give it that. Anything is plausible. If you really want to make it work, you could.
I
but
just
hey,
want to see what he's gonna do, because it seems like him show.
No.
I mean,
Now you're back. Now you're good.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I was just wondering what Mom's gonna do, because it seems like she runs the show with them boys. And since what's his name? Finn Balor's little buddy came out there and busted up and cost him this match too as well.
Well, yes, J.D. McDonough
Well,
was
how
the
bad is it?
reason that the Judgment Day basically lost. He nailed Damian Priest in the back of the leg with the briefcase and then got attacked. I think we're seeing the precedents, and I think we're going to see Damian Priest leave. I think J.D. McDonough is going to stay in the Judgment Day. I think that's where we're going to see the switch. I think Damian Priest is dying, is hungry. I think he's at that point. I think the fans are right there with him to have him go babyface. I think it is that switch time. We're getting very close to this where he's going to snap. I have a feeling that after tonight, I think Damian Priest isn't going to cash in that Money in the Bank. I think you're going to get a Finn Balor taking that case and cashing in. Rhea Ripley getting her title taken from her and using that case to cash it in. I don't know if it's legal. I don't know if it's legit, but I think there's a story there. Just
When's the
because
last time
tonight,
someone lost their.
the
someone
last
did lose
person
their
that
case. It was
actually
act-
was it. Okay, well I know like Ken Kennedy, Mr. Kennedy lost his briefcase at one point to Edge, and that's how I believe Edge got his title match the second time. I believe somebody did the Miz lose it.
No, Otis.
Otis lost it to the Miz. That was the last one. Yes.
Hmm.
But we've seen him lose it in matches, but we never seen somebody else just take it and cash it in. It is ownership 9/10 of the law in this thing. So I mean, I just throw this out there because the way she's like, leave the briefcase, like give me the briefcase, give me this. What's to say that she doesn't take it and use it? Of course, she's champion right now, so she doesn't really need it. But I mean, what if she takes it and JD McDonough doesn't take off with it and try to cash in? Finn Balor, who we know still wants a shot, how do we know he doesn't like take it from Damian Priest? How do we know Damian Priest doesn't want to sit there?
Finn Balor is long overdue for a shot that for a time never got to really hold.
So
be
I
honest
mean,
here.
they did something.
For it.
They did something interesting in the setup tonight. I don't know if that's going to play out. I don't know if he's going to go babyface and cash it in. I just feel I feel like we're getting to that point where Damian Priest is in the fallout with Judgment Day is going to be very interesting. So I think Monday night, I keep wanting to say tomorrow night because I'm used to pay-per-views being on Sunday. When you grow up in the world of wrestling like we did, when they put it on every pay-per-view on Sunday, and of course then, and I've heard it tonight, it's like, oh, it's so wonderful that they put pay-per-views on Saturday instead of Sundays because, we'd have to get up in the morning. I'm like, man, we've been asking that for the mid-'90s. Me and Mr. Paulus here have been like, we've been watching wrestling since then, and we'd watch the pay-per-views on Sunday, but we'd have school the next day. So it always sucked because, our parents would be, hey, it's late. The newspaper used to be going 9, 10, 11 o'clock some nights. Luckily, we lived on the West Coast, so it was a little better, but it was still, it sucked because you're like, we got to watch this. We have to watch this. It was good when there was no school on Monday or it was a holiday. But, yeah. So thank God they finally went to Saturday. I don't know why it took them so long, but, it is what it is. Next big pay-per-view looks like it's going to be from Riyadh. I don't know if did they call it Crown Jewel? Did we get a Crown Jewel? Or do we just know that the next big event's coming from Riyadh? I don't remember if they actually showed anything saying it was Crown Jewel. I just know they're selling Riyadh. That's where they're going to next, as I understand. I don't even know if we got a date for sure. So we know Riyadh's coming up. We know Survivor Series is coming up. We believe there's no pay-per-views at this time scheduled for December. I don't know if we're going to get a day one pay-per-view this year. But we're starting on that road, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting close to the road to WrestleMania. And there's a lot of things that are moving in that direction. I think you're going to see Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio for the U.S. title at WrestleMania. I think you're going to see Jimmy and Jey Uso versus each other at WrestleMania. I think Cody Rhodes will get his moment with Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I think if The Rock is there, he'd probably be a day one, night one thing. If not, I would probably put The Rock to face. Honestly, to me, if you're going to have The Rock come back at this point, I'd put The Rock versus Roman at Elimination Chamber in Australia because then you're going to sell massive tickets in Australia. You're going to make that a huge event in Australia, and it won't be like a B pay-per-view. So, did you have anything to add? No, okay. I just saw some hand movement, so I didn't know if you were trying to gain my attention there.
Sometimes I turn off my mic to have to burp or whatever, and then I'll turn it back on.
Okay.
In case something does pop up in my head.
But yeah, no, I think I would put Rock at, and I'd love to break that down, and hopefully I'll do a book it show or some type of show. I'm just waiting to get a few things together to get that show off the air. Like always, right here at the Value Wrestling, we're bringing new content to you. We're bringing more reviews of all types of wrestling. I'm thinking about some other stuff that we can definitely bring to the channel. But yeah, I think we're getting on that road, that path. It's definitely going to be interesting to see where we see Jade Cargill fall into all of this at this point. Dragon Lee becoming a big name on the roster now. And there's a lot of speculation of other names that are over in AEW right now that maybe jump in that ship. If you have that Cody connection, you never know what's going to happen. Anyways, I see we got a couple of viewers in here. We appreciate you. Go ahead.
Real quick. I was watching the Cody interview, and they asked him about Jade, and they asked him if he had any idea if anyone wanted to come. And he spoke very highly of Jade, and said, I I can't talk about who else I've talked to, so we'll see what happens.
Well, from
He
everything,
also said he wasn't in charge of that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've
Like,
gotten from the
he's trying to be very politically neutral. You could tell in his answer.
Yeah.
still like to know whatever happened between him and AEW, because there was some type of fallout that pushed that direction, one, and then him working to get some of the people over to WWE now. What that shift was, because I mean, I would think once you go and open a company like that and supplant your name in there, that would be a baby to you. So I don't know if his baby got taken away from him in some form or another, or what the issues there, and it's all open to speculation, and we can throw darts at the board all day long, all night long, and we may never get it right. But it definitely seems interesting. But I know Jay Cargill said that Cody Rhodes was a big reason she came to WWE. Cody Rhodes was one of the movements and reasons she came over here, which is interesting. Of course, Edge says that Adam Copeland said that something the Undertaker told him was the reason he went to AEW. So that's an interesting little scoop there. But I know Jay Cargill said that it was Cody Rhodes was a big reason she came over here.
But get her to stay.
And
Tony Khan still left.
Yeah, well, Tony Khan came out and offered her contract. Jay Cargill came back and said, I want more money. And Tony Khan didn't just give her the money she asked for. He went above and beyond from what he said. Like, I went above that. I went way above that amount and offered her. And she still walked into WWE. So, again, this makes you wonder about a lot of things. What is really going on over there? Is it a circus show? You know, we know the story with CM Punk and kind of his end of things. But when we see names that are jumping over that AEW should have been doing something with, like a Jade Cargill, or the opportunity they had with a Brian Pillman Jr., and now Brian Pillman Jr. is ready to blow up on NXT. Yes, we've seen him in the Tiger shirt. We've seen the innuendos. I don't think he's going to pick up the loose cannon. I've heard a lot of people, he's going to pick up the loose cannon gimmick and go. I'm like, that was a special gimmick, and I don't know if it's going to work for anybody else, even if he's a Brian Pillman Jr., It takes a character, and I don't know if he has that. We have to see what talent and skills he has. But I'm really excited.
And actually, he's tried the loose cannon character a little bit on the Independents just to kind of get a feel for it. It's like, just no, he's not his dad in that respect.
Yeah. Of course, if we take Miguel and team Miguel up with Brian Pillman Jr., you can have a reformation of the Z-Man and Brian Pillman. Flying Brian and the Z-Man.
No.
Yeah, if you want you go way back to WCW on the Saturday night show. Yeah, WCW Saturday night over there. I think part of it was time. It was in Disney's MGM Studios, and they had the ring that sat on a turntable. And yeah, at that time, you had Z-Man and Flying Brian Pillman. Man, those were some great shows. You used to watch the TBS Superstation, and of course, out here on the West Coast, it was a 8:05 start, so it was like a 5:05 start, and sometimes it would even come on earlier than that. Out here, and Saturday Night Wrestling was pretty good for what it was in WCW. Names that came through there. I mean, who remembers Terrorizing? Yes, I remember seeing Terrorizing on there before he joined.
I didn't know him by that name. I knew him when he became John Paul Levesque.
Yes, Chubb. I was going to get into the Blue Blood era with William Regal down there, and of course, then if you speak of that, you got to speak of the multiple names of beautiful Bobby Eaton. Sir Bob, Earl Bobby, and all that great stuff. And
yes,
of course, there was a lot of just weird teams that came through there. And Van Hammer, there's a name from WCW you can throw out there that was on Saturday night.
Oh no!
And there was always a Armstrong. Oh, the old tugboat, Typhoon, Fred, Uncle Fred, Cody Rhodes, Uncle Fred, the Shockmaster. Yeah.
I want to say Fred Otterman.
Yeah, Fred Otterman.
Yeah, Fred Otterman.
Introduced into WCW at that time as the Shockmaster. Was going to team up with Sting and the British Bulldog in WCW against Ric Flair. Or the Black Scorpion. Anybody?
Can I make that helmet? Because I want that helmet, honestly.
Well, just go buy. I mean, they got this. You can go buy the styrofoam ones at Hobby Lobby or Michael's and glitter them up all you want, or you can go buy one that's plastic. It's Halloween. I'm sure they're out there. You can go buy one and make one. It's not that hard.
Oh, I gotta get one because I'll dress.
That wasn't a fancy one.
Just for giggles.
Okay, so here's what we do. We'll get the Z Shocker, and we'll get Marty Richards together out in public somewhere. That's what we can do. We get 100.
I just want to know when did we get our own personal Tom Zink?
He went with the real name, if you didn't know.
Yep. Well, he also went by, because the wrestler went by that name too.
Yes, he did. He did.
Mhm.
He was called both the Z-Man and by his name.
But yeah, no, okay, we get 100 subscribers. We'll take Marty Richards and the Z-Shocker out in public. So yeah, now you got to make the mask because you put that out there into the aura of the realm of the value of wrestling. So now you're on to do it. Now it's not just chalk, you know.
Now you're
That's
under
fine with
pressure.
me.
So we'll get the
I
Z-Shocker
was-
and Marty Richards out in public somewhere. If we can get 100 subscribers, you can believe that. We'll make some type of
We're
video.
not
I don't
that
know what
far
it'll
off.
be. So
And it's only
No.
20 more. Just
Yeah.
share and subscribe, and we'll get you there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Value Wrestling right here on YouTube. And we are here each and every week with the weekly roundup live. And of course, we cover every pay per view event. And then we got many other shows that are breaking down. We got the new show with the big time rants. We've got audio. I'm forgetting the title. Audio.
Jane does 100% mark. We
There
just
you
got
go.
a new one called Wrestle Report.
Yes, we break down. You have the quick results of every wrestling TV show out there that breaks it down. We have audio articles. We have Jane out there, not Jade, my bad. We have Jane out there doing her 100% mark videos. We got the Messiah's Wisdom out there. Tread carefully, but enjoy it. It can be good stuff. It just depends on how you digest it. It's a different character with a different taste, and you got to love it. So there's plenty out there, and it's always growing. We've got quick results. I just started introducing this day in wrestling history as a short. So we got a lot of stuff going. If you want more stuff, you're always welcome to comment. If you think you have an idea that we should add here on the Value Wrestling, drop it in the comment below, and we can see if it would be something that we can work in and put on the good old YouTubies. But not bad tonight, gentlemen. We're a little bit over an hour. We've been kind of killing time, just filling in, just to make it at least an hour, because I think that's, a live show should be at least in that ballpark.
I would always
Well,
say
tonight-
45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. We've had some viewers. We appreciate you for joining us. We appreciate you for being here. Make sure you share this out. Make sure you're sharing with your friends. Let them know. There is a link tree in the description. If you go through the description, you'll find our link tree, which will take you to our Facebook page. It'll take you to associated Twitter pages, associated other elements of connection with us here at the Value Wrestling. And with that being said, make sure you subscribe, become part of the Value Wrestling family, because with your support, we will take over the IWC by storm. And until next time, not this next time, but until the next episode, it's time for us to say, you know it. Let me get us out of here on that.
Like the VWO, we're taking over!